How to make your ex realize what they lost. And obviously, I'm not trying to teach some sort of hypnotic mind manipulation or something like that. These are general principles that can help your ex to see and to realize what they've lost without you having to actually contact them or do things that could create a loss of attraction that's even further than what's already happened. Number one, indirect influence. And you have to be careful with this because in other videos I've talked about how your friends and your mutual friends can actually hurt things. That if you show a lot of pain regarding the breakup, if you tell them how much you miss your ex, how difficult the days and nights are without them, things like that, that they can actually think they can help you. They can overestimate their ability to help you. And they'll think, well, I'll just go tell this person. And they'll go tell your ex, he's really struggling or she's really struggling and missing you. And they think that that will make the person feel sorry for you and that that will make them come back. That's not a good reason to come back at all. Pity is a terrible reason and it doesn't work. Attraction is what works. And when you pity someone, you can't feel attracted to them based on the pity. There has to be something else. And so your friends might be well-meaning, but if they talk to your ex on your behalf, the vast majority of the time, pretty much all the time, they're going to make things worse for you and they're going to make it less likely that your ex will come back. But what you can do is you can show your mutual friends your positive changes or just great things in your life, or that you just don't talk about the breakup. And these things can cause those mutual friends, when they are around your ex, that they're going to say things about you, if they say anything, that are very positive or that are interesting or that show strength or that you've improved in areas or you're doing interesting things. And if they don't have the things to say to your ex that make you look like you're really struggling with this, then that pity aspect won't be there. And so you want to kind of give your mutual friends things to talk about without you telling them to talk about it, because you know they're going to. Very likely, your ex is going to ask just out of curiosity, especially if they are in the curiosity stage that an ex goes through after a breakup while you're in no contact. And I have a video on that called Stages Your Ex Goes Through During No Contact. I'll link to it in the description below for your convenience. And basically, if they're in curiosity, then they may ask questions to your mutual friends. And so you want to give them the fuel for those answers. And it needs to be positive things. Obviously, not exaggerated, not cliche, not fake, not dramatic, but give them positive things to talk to your ex about. Try not to show the pain and suffering that you're going through around your mutual friends. I know you want to talk to somebody about it, but be strategic about this. If you tell your friends how difficult of a time you're having, it will probably get back to your ex. And that's not attractive, because we want your ex to feel like you're strong enough to stay away and you're handling this well and that you could move on and they could lose you. That's very important. People underestimate just how important that is. Number two, excel in an area where they doubted you. And this may not apply to every situation, but if there was a specific area where they doubted you, or they complained about how you were handling things in that area, or they saw during the relationship that you had not been able to overcome something, that's where you may think, well, how in the world can I show them my improvements if I'm in no contact? Well, here's how. You show it to mutual friends. You post it on social media without trying to draw too much attention to it. It's just something that happens to be part of the picture or the post if they were to examine it. You want to be subtle, obviously, and you don't want to look like you're trying to broadcast to them these changes you've made, because it will look like you're saying, am I good enough for you now? And you don't want to do that. But you do want to excel in an area where they doubted you, because the odds are they will figure it out somehow. It's amazing how when something is subtle, that when someone is curious, they will find the clue. And so that's what you want to do, is you want to subtly show them that you are excelling in an area where they doubted you. My emergency breakup kit can help you get your ex back, and I link to it in the description below. You can go to myexbackcoach.com/EBK for emergency breakup kit, and you can make it yours, and you can start the process of getting your ex back in less than a minute. That's myexbackcoach.com/EBK. Number three, don't ask mutual friends how they're doing. And this one, people seem to make this mistake more often than so many other mistakes that could be made, because they think it seems innocent. But you don't want to show curiosity about your ex. In fact, you want to show a curious lack of curiosity. So that when your ex asks your mutual friends, did he ask about me? Did she ask about me? They can say, no, he didn't. He didn't. He didn't mention you. Or she didn't mention you. It's something that can really frustrate and confuse your ex because, as I've talked about in other videos, at the breakup, the dynamics of the relationship are so far off. They're so out of balance because the person breaking up with the other person feels like they are more attractive. No matter what they say, they may say, I just need to work on myself or find myself, or I'm not ready for a relationship right now, or whatever other garbage excuse they give, that really they're just not wanting to say that their feelings have faded, that attraction has fallen. Whatever they tell you is not true. They're just wanting to say something that hopefully you can't argue with so that they can get away scot-free and not have to have an awkward, difficult moment any more so than it already is. And so that dynamic of them being more attractive than you because they're breaking up with you. So they feel like that's the place they're in, even if they don't talk about it or think about it in those terms. It's more of a feeling. But when you're not even asking about them, you don't even seem curious about them, it's as though you have been able to just turn the corner and kind of start to move on. When they start to think that way because your friends say, well, he didn't bring you up or she didn't bring you up, it's where your ex can go further into those stages where not just curiosity, but now they're getting a little bit concerned. And at first, it's not even concerned that they might lose you because they still don't care quite enough because they broke up with you after all. So why would they care if they lose you? It's a process. But at this point, their frustration is more just in terms of how we all feel frustration when someone is not showing signs of being attracted to us. Because if we're honest, we kind of want everybody to be attracted to us. Even if we're not attracted to them and don't want to be with them, we still want them to be attracted to us. That's just kind of human nature. And so that little bit of frustration can raise your value. And of course, none of the things that I've mentioned are good reasons for your ex to come back. You don't want them to just come back because it appears that you're moving on. You want them to actually go deeper and think about that you're moving on. That means that you could get to a point where you don't want them back. And are they okay with that? And it makes them actually take a serious look at the breakup and really reflect on the relationship when it was good, and to actually have to come to grips with what if they're making a mistake? What if this was temporary? What if this could be worked out? And what if they are letting a great person slip away because they had some feelings feel different for a time and they did not wait and they didn't put the effort in to try to save the relationship? That's what we want them having to grapple with. That's where your odds of getting them back and them actually coming to you and trying again increase. Number 4, this one's a little bit different, but take a trip. Go out of town. I don't mean you have to go across the world, maybe just hundreds of miles away, and take some pictures, post it on social media. Don't act like that you're having the greatest moments of your life because that just seems overdone and exaggerated and like you're trying to get to them, like you're trying to show them. But show that you took a trip. Maybe you took a trip with a group of friends or family. Why should you do this? Well, it's because you want them to feel like you're far away, in this case physically, because it also works on them emotionally, meaning if they wanted to see you in that exact moment, they couldn't because they're not even real sure where you are, but you're far away. You're not easily accessible. It's something that works more on a subconscious level, but it puts in front of them the situation they're actually in, that you could be getting further away from them. You could be unattainable. You could be lost. And it's something that works on whatever else is already working on them a little bit, that they've noticed you're in no contact, you're not trying to reach out to them, and now they see that you're far away, that you've taken a trip. It is subtle, but it can work on them. And in the entire Rubik's Cube of all of this, it's something that is a positive in your favor in terms of reattracting your ex. Number 5, silence. The no contact rule. I talk about it a lot, but stay with me. I have something different to tell you. And that is that one of the things I talk about a lot is that when you are in no contact, you're not reaching out to your ex. You're not trying to talk to them. You are purposefully not communicating with them. That will often cause your ex to miss intimacy with you. And I mean emotional intimacy, where they are learning about the facts and the feelings of your life, what your week has been like, what's going on at work, or what's going on with family, or what's going on with your health. Things like that they were used to experiencing and learning about while they were with you. Now they're not with you and they're not getting that. And even though they may still want the breakup, they can still miss the intimacy because we were created in many ways to have intimacy with another person. That's why we have friends. That's why we have family. And your ex when you two were together in a romantic relationship, that is a family. You two were a family while you were together, at least in terms of just how emotionally the two of you process it and relate to each other. And so your silence takes away that intimacy. And that oftentimes is what can make someone come back to the table in their mind, reconsider this, and just realize that they are missing you, that there were positives, and that they don't want to be without you, that they want to be in your life, and they want you in their life. It's something that allows them to feel some of the consequences of the breakup. And rather than wishing you would leave them alone, which is one of the worst positions you could find yourself in, they are actually at times wishing they could be around you. And it can cause them to want to see you face to face. And this is where I've been getting with this, is that if they miss that intimacy with you and they want to see you face to face, that allows you a terrific opportunity, because you are your most attractive self when you are mind, body, and emotions right there in front of them. And you two are connected physically, not just emotionally. You're not just pen pals over a text, but you are face to face. That is when you are your most attractive self, and that is when they are their most attractive self. And so that's an incredible opportunity, because a lot of people, when they actually have that moment of getting back together, it's when they're face to face. It makes it more difficult. It puts a magnifying glass on the fact that you two have been apart. And it allows for the production of oxytocin and vasopressin, which are bonding chemicals that happen when you're skin to skin. Even if you're just hugging them for 5 seconds or maybe 10, you're holding that hug a little bit. Oxytocin and vasopressin are being produced, which create bonding, which makes it harder when you two walk away. And maybe you just met to catch up and your ex doesn't really push to get back together. You shouldn't either. You just want to have a positive experience with them. And then when they go away that night, the night after, the vasopressin and oxytocin are connected to you, and it causes them to experience some emotional pain. It causes them to experience separation anxiety. And that's what you want, because you're just trying to give yourself the best chance. None of these things are magic or hypnotism, but they help, and they can help a lot when you add them all together. And so those things can help make your ex realize what they lost and make them want it back. Get more information on my emergency breakup kit. The link's in the description below. It's my guide to help you get your ex back. And you can start the process in under a minute. Just go to myexbackcoach.com/EBK as an emergency breakup kit. This has been Coach Lee. Thank you for watching.